Who wants to tell me what happened last game? Don't all jump up at once.
Made it to a camp. There
Trying to
we
find
met.
trying to find
people.
the polite way of saying my team still doesn't trust anything that I do.
I
never gave you that
doubted
impression.
Never doubted you.
Fellion's got my back.
Ryan has your back.
Felion doesn't know you.
He doesn't have to. He knows people.
Fair
But
Passive
again,
point.
what
insight
gave Macklin
is-
that impression?
His passive insight is very high. Just an FYI.
Oh shit, we got a
Oh,
battle
why?
map, guys.
This is just the encampment, I think. Hope.
Yep.
Drop that. Anyways, we made it to a camp. We found out that they are not bad people at all. They're actually fairly decent people who are just trying to make their way through a world that involves the undead roaming everywhere. We got to meet the encampment leader. We all went our own separate ways. Ice and Cure put on one hell of a performance. Cure with somehow this amazing performance. To which Felion decided he was going to go take some time to himself. He got to speak with the leader of the encampment for the first time and found out he may or may not be a part of let's say, this plane. From there, Felion and the rest of the group kind of shared more into their histories and their backstories, and the group found out that Felion is a part of, well, at least Cure and Macklin found out that Felion is a part of a ancient order and that he did not agree with their methods, so he separated himself. Kind of pointing out to Cure that maybe the order that he used to be a part of isn't liked by his order, or her order, I should say. From which, I mean, Seamus and Macklin and Cure can all speak for themselves in their conversations. But they decided to take their rest for the night, in which, in the midst of the night, some people from the encampment and 3 members of the party had god-awful dreams. Deciding to investigate, Felion and Macklin found out that I cannot remember his name.
Thaden.
What? Say it again.
Thaden.
Thaden?
I believe it's Thaden. Thaden.
Thaden, yeah, Thaden. That's what I thought. Okay. Thaden had hastily left his what the hell is it called? His trailer, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Wagon.
To which the party decided that they were going to follow, and that's where we are. And of course, if you guys want to explain what you did, feel free.
Guess I'll go next. So, much like John described, got to the camp, checked it out, found out that everything was okay. Sorrow was not turned into soup. Lolan was taking care of people, and it was cool. Some music was played. Some really good music was played. I checked in with Sorrow, found out that she wanted to stick with this moving caravan, and Macklin was like, "That's probably a good idea. You should do that." Gave her Old Faithful, his rapier, and basically parted ways there. Soft parting. Both of them understanding that they would break paths probably tomorrow morning. Thaden went around and spoke to just about everyone one-on-one and got a feel for him, and we all got a feel for Thaden. Cure started drilling some kids on how to do war, so that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I have an army now.
Basically has a small army of kids who were somewhat interested. But yeah, after we shared stories and turned in for the night, a lot of us had nightmares. Come to find that Thaden left in the night. Felion went off to track him, and he ran off and left some markers pointing to his direction, while Macklin and the others got prepared to give chase.
Okay. Anyone else have anything to add?
I'm pretty happy with that.
I was very, very skeptical of the prudency of the plan of leaving Sorrow with a group of people that we did not know, especially when people are after her, and we're all like, well, fuck. That's really great, leaving her in a group of people you only know one of. So,
well, I did call
sure
them nomads, so I understand.
Yes, the description
They
did not
did
make
have
it
an
any
enchantment
sound better.
that chased people away.
Yes, and as my character found out and no one else's did, as I was walking towards it, I suddenly was like, fuck this shit, and started walking away. I'm like, there's nothing here. And then I was forced into the bubble, at which point I was like, wait, what the fuck? Ooh. I looked up and saw all the flags around the camp, and like, those mother clever fuckers. And did as need be. Being skeptical of everything, I made sure that my bag was in front of me on my chest, and I sat down to play music in the fire, and apparently I was playing alongside the group leader and did not know it, and people thought I was trying to seduce the group leader, which I was not, but that's that's their hang up, not mine. And apparently, after Cure had assisted with the Celestial Song, and I had, things that were magical in the group, and was like, ooh, look at all those shinies. Oh, those are a lot of sticky shinies. Don't know if I trust people with magical stickies. Came back and was relaxing when, or I moved to a spot and knelt down for where I wanted to put our amazing hut. And then Thaden kind of just walked up to me and was like, hey, you seem like you would be good for music. Here, have this. And then gave me a magical song scroll that I needed to learn and practice. And that's what I did while waiting for people. And was totally antisocial about the whole thing. And apparently only one or two people opted to... One, because Macklin opted to be in the bubble.
No, it was
And-
only Cure.
I thought Cure was sleeping under the stars.
No, I'm sleeping
No,
on the
that was
stars.
Mac.
You were sleeping? Okay, so it's Cure then.
Yeah,
bad.
it's me and Macklin.
And
As the cracked
That-
ship comes closer to port.
and then as things go, I had a really bad fucking nightmare, which I haven't had for a while. I'm like, ah, fuck. And then I got up, and then everyone was freaking out about shit going on, and then Thaden was missing. I'm like, motherfucker. Yeah, and that's it.
Okay. All parties heard from. So, you track Thaden to the edge of camp. Are you gonna head out, or
Yeah, I'm heading out ahead of everyone.
okay?
Tracking
So
him.
he is this
And I'm
way.
following.
This way.
I'm
Yeah, last I checked, Felion had moved ahead of us and was like, catch up.
right. So essentially, what I'm doing is in the areas I'm leaving marks for Macklin, something easy for the ranger to track. so that way he can follow behind when he the rest of the group.
Okay.
We've all gotten ready, gotten armored, and ready to go. So Macklin will take point following after Felion, which I presume went in this direction.
No, up north.
He went in. Oh, hey,
Northeast.
the area's open. All right. So as far as close as we can get to him in the amount of time that we have.
Okay.
Probably have a decent.
What was that?
I said I would say I would probably have a decent lead on him.
Mm-hmm.
With Macklin's roguish speed, he'll only keep about. Does everyone have dark vision?
Good question.
Yeah,
I think
believe
so. Yeah. He'll only stay about 30 feet ahead of the group chasing after Felion.
Okay.
I'll plop him there for now.
Sounds good. So, as you begin to, Felion, as you begin to move forward, roll me a perception check.
Perception?
Mhm.
Not bad. Hey, I'm trained on those. That's 18.
18. Okay. It's colder than you would even expect for this time of year. Like, the camp was exceptionally warm. Outside of the camp was moderately chilly. As you walk forward north, you're feeling like the temperature is dropping significantly as you move forward.
Okay, so that's when I pull out my my greatsword.
White Walkers.
There's no fucking around with that. With my history with creatures, is there a way that maybe I could sense what type of creature it could be?
Sure, roll me an Arcana check, or a Nature check, or a Survival check.
Nature. Survival's my best, so
Okay.
we'll do survival. Same thing, 18.
18. You know there are some creatures that could cause temperature differentiations like this. Dragons do. So any sort of ice dragon would. Some fiends are from the colder realms and colder circles of hell. Yeah, you're not quite sure what this could be because the nightmares that everyone got doesn't seem to fit up with anything. But
I'll keep pressing forward.
okay.
Yeah.
Are
I'll
you
keep
going to
pressing
stealth
forward.
any or?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Stealthily as I can be. 12.
Cool, good to know.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Oh, I now all of a sudden give a shit.
Shits were given once.
As you kind of come around this set of trees, you do see a large shadowy figure, winged, but it looks like it's made out of darkness. You're not quite sure of its exact form. It's hard to make out it, especially where it is dark outside, and it does appear to be exceptionally dark in this area. And you do see Thaden on the ground nearby. He does not appear to be moving.
Doesn't appear to be conscious.
He does not appear to be conscious, no.
Wonderful. Alright. So I see the shadowy figure. I imagine that's where I'm gonna roll initiative.
Are you waiting for the rest of your party?
Fuck no.
Okay, then yes, that is where you would roll initiative. Give me a moment. Get everyone added to the initiative tracker.
See trees. Does this count as the woods?
No.
Damn it.
This is the plains.
Ah!
Are we all rolling?
Yeah. Can everyone please roll for me?
Oh shoot.
Everybody's rolling for the weekend.
Because we're gonna be getting into turns real quick here.
Give me a 24.
I got a 3.
I'm on the same move as the bad guy.
Can you just add a decimal point and your dexterity, please?
So decimal point followed by my dex mod.
Yep.
All right.
Apparently, I lost
Oh,
my
enter.
token.
There we go,
Refreshing.
enter.
There we go. 7. Wait.
Alright. Somehow
Uh.
Macklin goes first. As you see,
Rogues, man.
you see Felian kind of out of the corner of your eye. You're able to get a beat on him. It's foggy out, which is weird. Not quite the weather you would expect for tonight. But you do manage to catch a glimpse of him, and he does appear to be drawing a sword.
Okay, seeing that Felian's drawing a sword and knowing the situation as it is, yeah, Macklin knows that he has to act. Not sure what to what. This over here, a tree?
Yep.
I'm gonna
Might
stealth
be
into
a-
that tree.
Stealth into that tree away. Hold on a
You might
moment.
want to move me up, Heather, because for some reason my 7's behind Cure.
Real quick.
Whoa! That's one hell of a stealth.
Yep, that seems about right. Fucking rogues.
Fucking rogues.
Alright, as Macklin, you just dart forward, unseen. But you do see the giant winged shadow beast, and Thaden's laying on the ground nearby. Rob, you still there?
Sounds like he timed out. He lost turn. He'd lose turn. Oh, wow.
No need to hide the map anymore.
User disconnected from your channel.
I knew he did.
Okay, so Macklin is going to hold his action.
User entered your channel.
And I don't know
Hello.
what's going on. It said that I was broadcasting. My sphere was blue, but for some reason it just wasn't broadcasting.
So you were stealth and ready to attack.
All right, so I wanted to see is if Thaden's just like very clearly right there.
Yes.
All right, do I have enough movement to get to him? Do I still have an action?
Yes.
All right, then I will attempt to heal him. So I'm gonna get within range. And what spell slots do I have? Spell slots got restored, didn't they? Because of that amazing performance.
Yes.
All right,
We also haven't used any spells since the last time we slept, so.
I have.
Oh.
Well, I used a spell slot to do an effect.
Macklin, roll me a medicine check, please.
A medicine check. All right. I will roll medicine instead of straight up healing. Medicine. Uh-oh. Not trained in this. Not trained in that. Nope.
Cool. Okay, good to know.
Alright, so, since I don't know what the hell's going on, I just see him down, I will attempt to, Well, first I'm gonna try to give him a shake.
Okay. He does not move.
Doesn't move. Does he appear to have a pulse, or is he? I guess first, does he look wounded?
He is definitely wounded.
Definitely wounded.
He is very bloody.
Very bloody. All right then. In that case, I will use Cure Wounds.
Okay.
I'll just find the damn thing. Level 1. Cast spell. Cast Cure Wounds level 1 for 6 HP.
Okay. Good to know. He does appear to seem to be coming to. So he's not
Alright.
dead.
He's not dead, so the magic
Anymore.
takes. Anymore? Alright, seeing that the magic is taking and some of the wounds are starting to seal back up, Macklin knows that was a piddly weak sauce Cure Wounds, and so he stands there, hands splayed out, looks over his shoulder to Felion. Gentlemen, lady, we have a problem here. And that's my turn.
Okay.
Does calling out like that break your stealth?
Yeah,
Yeah, it does. It does.
that's not the time for stealth.
Oof.
Alright, so this creature, seeing Macklin is reviving his meal.
I think now was the time for stealth.
I have a bad habit of characters breaking stealth.
Macklin, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw against a magical effect?
It is a magical effect.
With advantage, that's a 21.
Alright, you shrug it off. He lets out this low hissing noise as he glares at you. Whatever he was doing did not work.
I squint at him.
But he
You
is
stop that.
gonna move here.
Oh, you certainly stop that.
Looms over you. He's huge.
A huge winged beast
Huge winged beast. Probably
made of shadow.
about the same size as the pit fiend.
Holy balls, that big?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He's only a large creature. He's only a 10 by 10 threatening space. We're fine.
Yeah.
Well, you're a big one, aren't you?
Making it Seamus's turn.
Okay, well, Macklin said we got a problem, and Felion's up ahead, so I'm just going to move up beside Felion. And then, oh fuck.
Charming.
And then I go, and I pull out my Cittern really quick, and I start playing, and I yell, "Here comes the sun!"
Here comes the sun.
And then I drop Dawn
It's alright.
right there, so it hits him, but no one else. I love this feature, so I can actually see where it is now. So yes, that is where it is. He needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
What do you have a token for sun?
Natural 20.
Mother fucking hell. Okay, so half the radiant damage.
Yeah, cool. He's gonna use his legendary resistance.
So he's gonna take nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, fine. I don't even bother rolling.
Sun is a persistent thing, though, right?
It'll stay there. But I look at that, I'm like, do I recognize the fact that he's not singeing the way he should be singeing?
No. Yeah, he seems to be shrugging it off.
Hey guys, this one's a little bit stronger than the normal fare.
Good.
And I shrink back behind the trunk of this tree since I have one more movement left, and attempt to hide, knowing that I can't really hide.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm staying within range of all the things, and I'm just hoping.
stands up.
You might want to bolt.
And he looks at you and definitely conflicted. And he gives you a nod. Do you have this?
Macklin gives a solemn nod toward the Eladrin gentleman.
Okay. So he's going to use his action to disengage. He has half movement, so he's going to get there. That is his turn. And we are up to Felion.
So, Sam, does dawn radiate light everywhere? Is that essentially what it does? So we're not in dim light or darkness
Yeah.
anymore?
No, it's a 30-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder of bright light in the center, which is considered sunlight. Let's see.
How tall is the dawn spell?
Well, that's what I said. 40-foot high.
40 You basically set a giant waypoint.
Yep.
Yeah, but that
So
also,
yeah, it doesn't
that
specify how far out the. Yeah, it doesn't specify how far out the light shines. It just says that it's sunlight in that spot. So I would assume it's the normal of like
All I
bright light
need
for
to
30
know
feet, dim light for another 30 feet beyond that.
all I need to know is if I'm right next to it, I'm not in darkness anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, you're definitely in the light, and so is that motherfucker.
Yeah, you totally fucked up everything for me, but that's okay. Because I still love you. So I'm gonna get up next to him. I have my greatsword out. I grip my necklace, causing the blood to ooze from my hand, and then grip my sword, causing a radiation of just energy coming from it. Take my points there. As it shines brightly like the sun. And I'm going to take my attacks against him.
Okay.
That is, that's 20, unnatural.
That hits.
Takes 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 21 points of radiant damage. Natural 20.
Okay.
We roll that 1. So that's 3, 14, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26 points of radiant damage.
And that's with it doubled.
Yes, that's with the double. And for now, that is my turn.
Okay. It is unhappy with you. And being so unhappy with you, it is going to use its legendary action to take a swipe at you.
Okay. I am going to use my blood curse, and I'm kind of, my eyes just glow with radiant energy as it goes to take a swipe out of me. It currently has disadvantage on its attack roll.
Nice. Does an 18 hit you?
It does not.
Okay. He takes a swipe at you and misses.
So Macklin standing next to me just watches as my eyes flash as it takes a swing at me and just kind of goes over his head.
Oh, well, that's a neat trick.
Foul beast, you will not kill me today.
And
It's my turn.
Yours turn.
Alright, so I begin chanting as I rush forward, and a pair of luminous raven wings erupt from my back.
Radiant soul.
And as I pull my sword from its scabbard, I point it at the creature, and lay a curse of the Raven Queen upon it. And move forward 30 feet. I'm done.
And then Cure got tired.
All right.
I hate the
Wait.
fact that Radiant Soul is in action.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It really is.
Do you have multi-attack?
Ooh.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I will say Radiant Soul just takes up one of your attacks.
We homebrewing this shit now, homies.
Yeah, no, that's your DM telling you that this creature is very powerful and fucking is gonna suck to fight. Keep that in
Got a
mind.
situational adrenaline bonus.
Yep.
You say it's going to suck to fight. I hear it's going to be interesting to fight. Can I use... If we're splitting up in action like that, then as I run forward, can I whirl my blade and let loose an Eldritch Blast from it?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Do a little link twirl and unleash a bolt of energy?
Yeah.
That's a 24 to hit.
24 hits.
And that is going to be 5 damage. Let me see if my abilities actually altered that at all.
Yeah, you get plus 11 for your Radiant Soul.
There
I
should
think that
be
might
2
be-
bolts.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because I'm level 11 now. I've got 2 bolts from that, don't I?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you need to roll another attack.
17.
Misses.
Ooh,
Oh, this is getting interesting.
he's a beefy boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's going to be 5 plus our proficiency is what at this level? 3?
4.
4. 5 plus 4 radiant damage, and then Hexblade's Curse gives me anything.
It's your proficiency bonus.
Oh! As a note, that Eldritch Blast that I rolled against him was a 19. Hexblade Curse turns all 19s into a crit.
Good to know.
I mean, that's just going to turn that 5 into a 10. But...
Yep.
All right, so
Helps.
10.
Wait,
force
no.
damage.
How do you have a 19 on that second attack?
The first
The
attack.
first attack.
First attack.
Oh, first attack. Oh, okay.
Yep. So 10 force damage, 4 radiant damage from Radiant Soul, and I believe that's it.
Then, according to your Radiant Soul, it's your current level for your damage.
Oh, I must have been mixing that up with the other curse skill I was looking at. Yeah, it's equal to the level, so it's 11 radiant damage rather than 4.
Okay, so 10 force and 11 radiant.
Correct.
Good to know. And it's Macklin's turn.
Alright, seeing that Felion is already tearing chunks into this guy, Macklin gives Felion a nod and uses his bonus action to disengage. Now a foot away, or several feet away, he props up the Condemner and makes his attacks. Uh, 14 does not hit.
Nope.
He'll knock another and try again. 20 hit?
20 hits.
20 hits. All right. So, let's see. On a hit, 1d10. Hold on, I gotta math real quick. Oof.
Ow.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Is this thing a type of undead?
No.
Okay. So then 11 points of, let's see. 13. So 24 regular piercing damage and 1 poison damage. I will then use some of my movement to put some more distance between myself and it, but I don't have enough action economy to actually hide, so I'm going to hang over by this tree in the shade.
Okay, good to know.
You've got this, right? You've got this.
It is just going to angrily slash out at Velian. Will be a 24.
That hits.
Oof.
.28 points of bludgeoning damage for his first attack. Second attack is a 21.
A what?
21.
Yep, it hits.
And 20 points for the second attack, as he rakes at you with both of his claws.
That hurt.
Ow.
It was only like 40 something points, guys. No big deal. No big deal. Valiant's fine.
Killian's got this.
Yeah, right?
Does not have tears in his eyes right now.
That's just the radiance spilling out. It's not tears.
It's the sword, guys. It's the sword, okay?
So is it the end of his turn?
It is.
Okay. Con save.
He's still in a bubble.
20.
Motherfucker. He saves half damage.
Okay. He's gonna spend that legendary resistance.
And that zeroes it out again, right?
Yep.
God fucking damn it.
Oh, dude. He's going to be able to do that every turn.
No, legendary resistance is limited.
Legendary
do it
actions
three
are
times.
once per round. Resistances
Right.
are. Yep.
Yeah, actions are what I was thinking of. Those refresh.
So, I am slightly upset at this motherfucker who keeps looking like he's not getting hurt at all. So I step out to the side of the tree to get a clear line of sight. And
What are you doing?
I'm double checking because I have to make sure I'm not going to screw something up with I don't want to mix up concentration spells because I want to, do good.
What you doing, Sam?
I am going to use Shatter at 6th level.
Alright.
Whoa!
Go big or go home. I want him to take fucking damage one way or another. So he has to make another con save.
It is a 13.
Okay, that motherfucker's taking damage. Let's see. Okay, so this is going to be 7d8 thunder damage on this motherfucker.
Mhm.
Are you going to legendary resistance it, or...
I am not.
Okay. So that's 38 thunder damage.
Okay.
And I assume he's not made of stone, crystal, or metal.
Nope.
Okay.
Made out of everything you fear.
He's made out of shadow, but as you get angry, strike a power chord, you see his entire form kind of vibrate, and bits of the shadow kind of separate before solidifying again.
And then I just step back behind the tree where I was, and I just bide my time.
Okay. He is going to...
I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, I'm just thinking. He's going to spend his legendary action to move here. And he's going to take another swing at Thaden.
Goddamn cock
Okay.
gobbler.
I'm gonna use my reaction to enforce disadvantage.
Good.
I'm actually gonna spend. I'm gonna amplify it, taking a little bit of damage. +2. Take 2 damage. And he's gonna have disadvantage on his next turn as well.
Okay. Unfortunately, it still hits.
Worth a try.
Yep. Was helpful though. It was a natural 20.
Oof.
I'll take it.
Oh, I don't think it was attacking you.
Wasn't.
Nope.
I was trying to save Thaden. Going down.
But with him down again, he is going to take a swipe at you.
Yeah, he has disadvantage.
He does. That's a 10, so that doesn't hit.
With a double flash, Stallion just kind of dodges out of the way.
I like how it sat on 20 for a second before rolling over a couple more times.
I don't mind.
Okay. He's gonna make a death saving throw. That is a success. Alright.
Okay, so grip the sword as tight as I can, and I'm gonna make my attack rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, you fucker! Ah, that was almost a natural 20. That's 27.
Yeah, that hits.
Reroll 2s. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 31 points of radiant damage.
You both are just taking massive chunks out of each other.
Yeah, that's... Damn it!
Roll 19s all day.
No, I didn't roll a 19 that time. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
Yeah, that hits.
Reroll 2s. Damn it, I rolled a 2 again, so that's 8. 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to use Supernatural Surge and use my bonus action to make an attack. That's an unnatural 20.
Yep, that hits.
Roll 2s. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27 points of radiant damage. And you guys watch as Felion makes his final swipe. You watch as his form turns into a spectral form. And that's my turn.
Very successful.
Thank goodness.
Yor.
Still standing though. That's the problem.
How bloody does this thing look?
None at all.
Well, it doesn't have blood per se, but there are wisps of smoke that seem to be not quite. It seems to be dematerializing a little bit on the edges.
I want to try something, but we'll see if it lasts long enough to actually do anything. All right. Kyor's going to move up and kind of place herself kind of over Thaden's body. And she's going to hold her sword in a defensive position. And first, she is going to utter an oath in Celestial against this creature, basically condemning it in sight of the Raven Queen by placing an abjure, a vow of enmity upon it.
Mhm.
And she's going to continue that vow into another curse from the Raven Queen as a faint purple light lights up within the eye holes of her mask, and I'm going to cast Bane upon it.
Alrighty.
Needs to make a charisma saving throw.
Pain.
18.
Damn it, 17 was a save. Alright, that's me.
Okay. Macklin.
Alright, seeing Thaden go down again, Macklin curses. You have got to be kidding me. And he moves his full speed to 20. Not his full speed, but he moves 25 feet to get to Thaden and reaches out to cast Cure Wounds again. There is the button for spells. Cast spell. 10 HP healed.
Okay.
He claps his hands together and calls upon the rejuvenating power of forest and nature's spiritual shit to help the Saladrin back to his feet. As the first inklings of consciousness return to Thaden, Macklin straight up hisses at him. Get up and get out! Once this thing's done with you, what do you think it's going to do to them over there? And he points back to the camp.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to call after Thelion. War Hero, put this thing full of holes. Do it quick! And that's my help action. You have advantage.
I don't know if I'm gonna last that long.
Well, shit. Ah, you're next to Cure. You're fine.
We'll see.
Alright. You all set, Macklin?
Oh yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
I mean, does he want his dinner more, or does he want to smack around the guy that's been hurting him? It's a really hard choice.
Dude's about to get 2 dinners, bro.
Felian and Cure make me wisdom saving throws.
Good at
Wisdom
those.
saving?
Oh, but there's a paladin.
Wisdom.
Oh, so I even get +5 to that. So that's like 100.
I was just double checking that to make sure it was.
Anyone within 5 feet, and then it's plus your charisma
Right,
modifier.
it's a saving throw, yep.
I don't know. It's 20.
19.
I don't know, it's 28. Okay, you guys both managed to shrug off his attacks.
Good
Though they were mental more than physical.
at mental things, except for intelligence.
Alright, and he spent all of his actions on that. Seamus.
Currently gritting teeth.
So Seamus growls and runs up to Thaden. And then he really quickly starts just like grunts and groans as he moves his hands to guide Dawn to a new location as a bonus action.
Okay.
And then
Oh, that's bright. That's bright. Eyebrow hairs start sinking off.
He's gonna use his legendary resistance.
It's end of turn.
Oh, okay.
So then I reach out and grab Thaden by the arm, and I say, "This is Thaden." Oh, wait, no, never mind. Not gonna say that. I say, "I'm stepping through the door," and dimension door both of us to the center of the camp.
Okay.
What's
And-
the save for daylight?
The save is Constitution,
Thank
and
you.
it's 17.
You don't need to make a save, Phil.
No, I'm just asking for my own reference.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you don't end your turn in it. The only time it does damage when it's first is when it's first spawned. Then and it's after you end a turn in it. So if you go into it and attack him, then step out of it, you're fine.
Good to know.
Okay. Thaden is going to stand a little in shock and awe as he just teleported,
Mm-hmm.
Bard's gonna bard, my dude.
and it is Felian's turn.
Felian's got this.
I got it. Okay, I'm gonna take a couple swipes at him. Advantage. Natural 20. That one's even better. That's 23.
Yep.
11. 17. 20, 21. 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 points radiant damage.
Okay.
Getting an advantage because I'm adjacent. It's a 19.
Just hits.
Goodness. Looking for advantage. Reroll 2s. 8. 12, 13, 14. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And then I am going to use my bonus action, Supernal Surge. However you say that. I'm going to use my bonus action to attack, okay?
Mm-hmm.
An advantage. That's 19 again.
Mm-hmm.
8. 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 points of radiant damage.
Alrighty.
And then I look at him and I'll be like, can you please just die? That's better. As my form still stays this spectral form.
Alrighty. He's gonna hiss at you and take his legendary action
Okay.
Make an attack against him.
to disengage.
Oh, well, you know.
As he steps back away from me, I snarl, "No, you don't," and I strike at him with my sentinel feet.
Alrighty.
Oh, shit. Oh, and if Sentinel hits, bad things happen.
He can't move.
Oh, well,
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20.
Okay.
No cure.
That hits.
Don't fucking let him go nowhere.
But because you have the
Nowhere.
Hexblade curse, it is a crit.
It's unnatural 20. I rolled an 11. I have to roll 19
Oh.
or 20.
I thought it was a 19. Sorry.
No worries. I still do bonus damage, and I'm going to burn a smite on this. And I'm going to burn a hex blade, my sorcerer spell slot, which
Warlock. Fuck him up, Seabass. Time to feel the pain of a paladin.
All right, 5th level warlock. That means my slots are at 3rd level, so that's going to be a 3rd level smite.
Is she doing any better?
Is it Fae Fiend or Undead, Heather?
It is a fiend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, an extra D8 there too.
All right, so that's going to be a max 5d8.
How do you want to do this?
Let me calculate my damage real quick.
It
You
had.
never know, we can roll all ones.
That's okay. It had 5 hit points left.
Okay.
But doesn't he still have a legendary resistance left?
No, it burned all 3.
It burned all 3. And even if it has a legendary resistance, it can't resist attacks.
The only
Okay.
resist-
Yeah.
saving throws.
So as it tries to back away and I snarl my denial at it, I'm going to bring my sword down, and as I strike it, there's a flash of violet lightning that just immolates it as it like stumbles back into the daylight and just dissolves.
Okay.
Well, that worked out.
Magnum lets out an exasperated little.
Okay, need to
What
up
in
the
the nine
crit
hells
ratings
was
on
that?
what I throw at you.
So, because I'm there with Thaden, I just keep the pillar up until I see people coming back, and then I just let it drop like a satin curtain.
Just a gentle.
I'm going to stand there a moment, the light still kind of like leaking out of the eyes in my mask, my wings outstretched. And I just kind of flourish my sword a little, sheath it in the scabbard, and let the wings dissolve away as the light fades. I was so looking forward to cursing it too.
I give
Oh.
Cure a little bit of a look, browse furrowed, but I do end up approaching Felian and give him a little fist bump. Just a gentle little, a weak little. Meh.
Go and
How
do that,
do
you
you
like
feel?
punch him in the stomach. I've seen better days, but I've also seen worse.
I clap my hand on his shoulder and give him 30 hit points.
Holy shit! Wasn't expecting that.
It's nighttime. They'll come back.
Oh,
Well,
good.
it gives you a nod. I feel much better now.
And Cure, you hadn't taken any damage?
No. That was very well done, Felian. Consider me impressed.
Seen monsters of his size and proportion before, though. Took quite a few chunks out of him. Smiles slightly.
Yes, well, remarkable work all around. That could have gone a lot worse. Where's the bard gone?
as you watch as the energy fades from his sword as he sheathes. Yeah, Kira's passive perception sucks, so
Does it though?
I mean, does it? What's your wisdom?
12.
Yeah, okay, it sucks.
Are we talking passive perception?
Mm-hmm.
Macklin's not paying attention. He already knows everything he has to know about Felion.
That's kind of what I figured. I figured you weren't paying attention. Cure. I don't know. You pay attention to details, though, right?
Oh yeah, he keeps an eye on just about everything, but
It's hard to tell what Cure notices.
As you watch the energy fade from his sword, you actually notice that his salt pepper hair becomes a little bit more salt peppery or grayer.
oh. He notes that but doesn't remark about it, assuming that it has to do with the checkered past that he has.
Goes up to, Felion would go up to Théoden and Ice.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd approach as well to check on Théoden.
As I approach, I'm actually going to... Well, I can't pat him on the shoulder because I'm short as hell. I give Ice a little bump against the hip with my fist. Smart work, portaling out of there. That thing wanted him dead.
And as you guys kind of look over Théoden, you see Cure is not the only one with spectral wings. As Théoden is a bit more... he's differently shaped than when you guys saw him last. He's probably at about 7 foot tall.
Oh, shit.
Winged, kind of very pale skin. His eyes when he looks at you all are golden, and like completely golden. And he looks at you. I appreciate that. That thing did a number on me.
Yes, I appreciate that.
I appreciate that. That thing did a number on me.
Slightly distracted by what he sees, Macklin, starstruck, just mutters a curse in Goblin.
I as I see this as I approach, I'm gonna like pull up short. Can I make a religion check to see if I know what he is?
Sure.
13?
13. You've heard the others mention the word Eladrin before. And you know that most Eladrin are some sort of fae, but however, there are angelic ones as well. They're less common. They tend to avoid humanity. They're usually banished to the material plane for some transgression. And they do transgress a lot because they tend to be more hot-headed and more
Passionate.
intent. Yeah, more passionate, more intent in balancing the scales.
As he says that, Felion would walk up to him, put his hand on his shoulder, and say, "Done the same."
What'd you say?
Felion would say, "You would have done the same for us."
He nods. I was trying to. I was hoping to take care of it before it could get close, but it seemed like it was beyond my skills.
It would be wise to try to stay far away from creatures like that. They don't tend to... They're not usually weak.
No, that's not my first Nightmare Stalker.
Nightmare Stalker?
Qua.
He nods. We're finding more and more creatures from the Shadowfell are breaking through and crossing over to our plane.
Totally totes. I'm gonna roll a history check on that and see as how they're fiends.
Mhm.
Get advantage. Still don't know anything about them. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay.
What the hell's the Shadow Walker? What? Nightmare? What? That was totally a shadow demon.
Can I roll a history check?
Sure.
They're not my favorite enemy, but I am trained in history.
Mhm.
It's a 17.
Okay. What are you looking to? Are you looking to recognize the creature? Or are you looking to recognize a trend?
Recognize the name, Shadowstalker. Well, actually, yeah, I'm curious to see if there were any wizards, wizards wars, in which these shadow stalkers were implemented.
Okay. So Nightmare Stalkers, or also known as Nightmare Shades, have been used in the past, usually by necromancers and fiend-packed warlocks. They are very, very powerful, and they are very hard to control. They
Hard to
also,
control.
yes, and they also have a taste for angelic creatures.
Sense.
I think back and I look to Cure and flit my way around to quickly and quietly get her ear. Oh, do you remember that tall, unpleasant barbarian type that we met in Whitestone? As
How
I-
could I forget him?
As I recall, you smacked some sense into him after he was rambling on and on about the darkness. The darkness was coming.
Did I now?
If memory serves.
Cure kind of rubs her chin. To be honest, I've smacked around a lot of creatures that claim the darkness was coming.
Matt
But I
slits out a
assume
sigh.
I know who you mean, though.
He nods, just taking note and making sure that she's also taking note, and tiptoes around the fire to flank the Eladrin.
And he kind of looks at both of you. Or all of you, rather. I think it might be best if I retire for the evening.
I agree with that. I think all could use a little bit more rest before morning strikes.
I'd rather everyone not see me quite like this.
Please, go. You will be fine.
He kind of ducks off to his wagon.
As he heads off, Pelion kind of looks at the group. That only makes me feel as though we should probably make more haste than we are, as these creatures this magnitude roaming.
I'll check in with Sorrow come morning, see if she can't do anything to help these people move. She's not a ranger, but she does have a keen eye.
Mecklin,
Pelion nods.
roll me a perception check.
Perception. It's an 18.
The camp is empty.
I'd
Empty.
pause for a moment. Where is everyone? Where is everyone? Oh my gods, where is everyone?
As
Macklin
you...
starts moving.
Okay, okay, Macklin.
He just
And
darts.
Macklin's gone.
He darts in one random direction.
Okay, so as you dart around that corner, I didn't get a chance to make the crowd, so give me a second. You do see a crowd of...
Sorry.
That was quick. You do see a crowd of people here, being herded by Sorrow. She does appear to be kind of and, trying to keep people quiet.
After making his loud fuzz, he peeks around the corner, sees Sorrow being quiet with the people, gives one of those thumbs up and nods, touches his lips to be quiet, and then makes his way back to the group. Somewhat sheepishly, he quietly tiptoes back. Crisis averted. Turns out there was no crisis at all. We good.
As you give a thumbs up to Sorrow, she kind of motions people forward, and people start spilling back into camp.
Hellion finds his bedroll. So in the morning, as he just got his ass whomped on. Even though he feels better from Dora's healing, he still got his ass kicked.
Man, I designed that creature to last a couple rounds with you guys. I'm gonna have to beef him up.
I thought it was going down. I honestly did. I was like, oh fuck, I'm going down.
I
Not
told you,
good.
you were flanked by Cure. You're good.
I was trying to measure how long that thing was going to last because I had Bestow Curse lined up and I thought, yeah, it's going to be cool, but Felion just kept doing massive chunks of damage. I'm like,
Dude, I got lucky rolls. And then
Fifth.
advantage
Yeah, you had like 2 crits.
went and I had one crit. One crit! I had a lot of unnatural 20s, but when you gave me that advantage, I rolled a natural 1.
Oh no!
I was like, oh, there's my luck. Oh, I was like, fuck.
Take it.
Yeah, no,
That's
you guys
just my-
handled that pretty well. It was a CR 14, by the way.
Nice.
huh.
That makes sense. That's what. That's a medium for us. Medium or hard.
It was supposed to be somewhere between, hard and deadly. According to
Oh,
the
there you-
calculators, but...
Oof.
Those calculators are never right. I've given you guys so many deadly fucking opponents, and you guys have literally walked right through them.
The power of friendship, my dude.
You have no idea how many times they have just walked through my monsters. Except for
That's
Sam.
fucking teamwork.
What
Sam
is it?
doesn't walk through my monsters.
I find that I tend to balance my battles in like the opposite direction.
Oh
Dude,
yeah,
I'm
these
telling you.
guys can handle these 3 air elementals and a bugbear. Sorry, owlbear.
Don't. I'm telling you right now, they'll walk right through them and piss you right off. I'll tell you.
Alright, well...
Ampelion hits to sleep, mumbling just that. Destroys high-level creatures at him. Go for it.
Oh no. Psychosis is setting in.
Yeah, Cure is going to head back to bed to rest up. She's more irritated that her rest was disturbed than anything else. She is glad everyone's okay, though.
Macklin nods to the others and makes his way north. I'm gonna sleep at a higher vantage point, just in case.
Ampelion mumbles to himself.
He's gonna find a tree to camp in.
Okay.
He's small. He can make a hammock.
Yeah, sure. Roll me an athletics check.
Athletics?
Gotta climb the tree, my dude.
Oh man. This is gonna be a big oof. That's a big oof. I'm lucky, hold on. Luck.
It's not graceful. You scramble up the tree. It is not graceful looking.
Note to self, find a tree with more branches.
At some point you're like kind of clinging to it like a cat. At some points, like you're like trying to like
Mudstone.
whip your leg up a little bit, and it's just not quite working. Cure and Seamus are both watching you attempt to climb this tree.
I'm slowly removing my armor as I'm watching him.
I haven't gotten much sleep, alright? This usually doesn't happen.
You were in the pool? Anyways,
It is cold.
I ritual cast the hut again, while Cure is within the range of it, so that If she wants to be out of it, she can. If she wants to be in it, she can. But the others have made it very clear that they don't want to be in it. And the second that the dome goes with wow, I just curl up in the center and go to sleep.
Okay.
Nap
You're always sleep in the
time.
hut. It's safe there.
All right, as you all get your rest for the evening, finishing up. Everyone roll me wisdom saving throws.
What? No. What? That's a that's a crit.
You sleep so good, Macklin.
Wow, your
I got a crit as
crit
well.
is 515.
You guys sleep great. Yeah.
It's the power of the tree.
Really is.
I got
So
to smite some
19.
evil to death, so
19? Yeah, you managed to go straight back to sleep. No problems.
Yay, sleep.
I got to smite some evil, so I'm sleeping like a baby now.
Yep. As you all wake up the next morning, camp is actually moving a little bit before you guys fully wake up, and you smell bacon. Like good bacon too.
Smell bacon, I smell pork.
Bacon, sausage, you smell fresh bread. Looks like some sort of breakfast feast is being prepared.
I will wake up to the smell of breakfast and kind of sigh as I get to work, donning my armor once more before I leave the hut.
Dexterity saving throw.
Incidentally, I forgot with my paladin bonus, my wisdom save should have actually been 32.
Alright, good to know.
12 with my bonus.
Cool. You trip over a gaggle of your child army as they appear to have been waiting outside of the bubble for you.
I windmill a little so I don't fall on them because that would be very painful with me and my full plate mail. Oh, well. Good morning, Talons.
They kind of giggle at each other as you windmill. One of the little girls, "Morning! I got you breakfast."
Oh my, that's rather sweet of you, thank you.
And she does offer you a bowl. It's got oatmeal and toast and lots of bacon.
Ah, your commander approves. Thank you. I take the bowl from her with a bow of my head.
And you notice that the kids are all kind of squatting outside of the bubble. They didn't know which side you were going to come out on. That was a lucky guess. But they all have their bowls and are eating breakfast together.
What say we find a more comfortable place to eat breakfast, shall we?
Roll a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage because you are their commander for your child army.
16.
Okay. Yeah, a couple of them grumble about having to get up and about the cool bubble, but they do eventually follow you wherever you want to remove them to.
I'm just gonna find a place where everyone's eating breakfast and kind of off to the side, maybe some logs and some stones where we can all sit comfortably.
Okay.
And
You do find a spot. You do notice a couple of the parents are kind of giving you that, come get me if they're being too much of a pain look.
I give them a nod as well. And as as we settle down to eat breakfast, I'm going to, between bites, I'm going to start telling them stories taken from like the Raven Queen's teachings,
Mhm.
like not the hardcore death stuff, but more about the reverence for life and protecting people from unnatural forces that would hurry them into her embrace, and kind of giving them the light version of the matron's
Yeah,
teachings.
yeah. Couple prodigal stories about the lion and the mouse or whatever. You know how to teach the stuff.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yep. No, you do manage to give a pretty good lecture as the children sit wrapped, eating breakfast and watching you talk extensively about the Raven Queen. None of them look like this is new information. And you do notice as you look around, a lot of these kids are wearing some kind of symbol of protection, usually from the Raven Queen. You kind of are clocking various various religious symbols around them.
If they prod me for like details or other stories, I'll oblige, and I'll even kind of pull out some of the more morose or sobering stories if pressed too hard. But I'll constantly frame it in a way that's more about like more along the lines of defending the living rather than like punishing the undead. Because I don't necessarily want my minions to run out across the countryside and slay evil. I definitely want to instill in them kind of a reverence for life and the desire to protect it from anything that would unnaturally end it.
Okay. Yeah, and you do give a pretty good lecture. It takes you a little bit of time in the morning. We're going to shift over to Seamus.
So once Kiora stirs and leaves, just long stretch, pop some bones, crack my neck, and walk. Once I make sure I'm prestidigitation clean, I walk to the edge of the dome where no one is at, and just walk through, making it give an audible pop. And then, do I see Thaden out yet, or?
Thaden is not out.
Then I assume he is still in his little cabin, Vardo, in his Vardo. Assuming that is where he was sleeping.
Nope.
Oh, he's
Yep.
that Vardo. Okay. That is the one, because I would have seen which one he went into last night. That is the one I am moving to.
Okay.
And then I lean up against it, and I just play gentle music, just calm stuff as I look out around the encampment, just trying to keep spirits up.
Okay. Yep, you play. Some people seem appreciative as they're eating breakfast and kind of getting stuff prepared for the day. It looks like some people are starting to eye the tents, and there's the beginnings of camp breakdown, but nothing full-hearted has started yet. It seems to be a lot of like, well, let's at least pick everything up real quick and get things at least cleaned and organized. People are starting to pack, but not ferociously.
Yep, being already packed and ready to go. I'm just watching and waiting for my group to be ready to go. Since they're eating right now, I'd rather just eat my my rations and go at this point. But
Okay. Felian.
Yep.
You wake up
Yep.
feeling
Right.
a bit better.
I was not doing good. I will get up, pack my stuff, grab some food, kind of look around, find a party member, and just kind of move over to him.
Okay. You see that Seamus is near the Vardo that Thaden went in, and Cure seems to be giving a lecture to a gaggle of children that are listening just intently.
Macklin still passed out.
You don't see Macklin yet.
I'll go sit next to Seamus.
Okay.
Playing music, right?
He is.
Yes.
I'll just sit there and let him play and listen to this while I eat.
Macklin, you are woken to the gentle tap of acorns being thrown at you. Just like tap. Tap. Ah, alright. Whoops.
You know what? At some point in my lecture, I'm going to start telling them about the last champion of the Raven Queen.
Okay. You
See how many of them know that story.
you see a couple. One, the little girl. You notice that when you mention the last champion of the Raven Queen, you notice most of the kids are like, "Oh, really? What's that about?" And then you notice one little girl in the front, appears to be an elf, young elf girl. Just her eyes just kind of go wide and she lights up.
I'm cool with this.
I'm back, by the way.
Okay.
I think it's losing my my device for some reason.
Okay. Cure, roll me an insight check. Macklin, you feel the tap, 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 tap of acorns being thrown at you.
I got a 22.
You did. Do we have a Macklin still?
Yep. I didn't know who would go first, so.
Yep, you can go ahead.
alright.
We will circle back to Cure.
All right. I would assume that they're coming from below,
They are coming from the side.
the side. All right. So Macklin turns to the direction of the acorns and attempts to swat one away mid-toss.
Mm-hmm. Yep, dexterity saving throw.
All right. Let's get a quick dex. Dex save 29.
Oh yeah, you kind of. It's not a regular rhythm, but you manage to pick up that there is kind of an subconscious kind of tap, tap,
This
tap,
isn't
tap,
squirrels. This is
Tap.
intentional.
tap, tap, tap. Yeah, this is definitely intentional. And you swat one away, and you hear a small giggle, which you instantly recognize.
Macklin turns over and sits side saddle across the branch, which even a small branch would be sizable for him, and peers down, presumably at the young, tan, dark-skinned elf.
Yep, you do see a young half-drow looking at you from a branch not too far away.
Glad to see you in your better spirits.
It's nice to be useful.
He inclines his head and nods a little bit to her. That was keen work you did, moving everyone to safety.
Well, I've kind of clocked that our host wasn't exactly human or elf, so I thought if it took him down and you guys down, then I didn't want everyone in camp.
Astute deductive reasoning. Though, why you would assume I would go down for any reason is Well, I'm a little hurt.
Well,
Still, contingencies should be in place.
more out of concern. I do worry about you, Macklin.
Oh, well. He picks his ear and glances away from her. Notice that this camp's current leader is not a typical humanoid. What's your take on him as a person? And he leans in, steepling his fingers.
She kind of thinks for a moment. Lawful good, but not in a stuck-up way. He seems to like he has a code that he lives by, and, I mean, I could appreciate that. It's probably a bit nicer than my code, personally, but...
Well, lawful good, perhaps with a touch of lawful stupid. If you'll be traveling with them, you may want to keep an eye on that one, just in case he tries any high-flying heroics. With creatures like that, it may be best to simply run.
She nods. Yeah.
That said, it seems like you've made a bit of an impression on the people, seeing as they did follow you to safety. You're a natural leader. It's good quality.
Impression might be a strong word, but I did manage to get them all out of the camp.
Wouldn't be the first time you've evacuated an entire group of people.
These ones were easier, actually.
I imagine so. Country bumpkins all scattered across the four winds.
Not all country bumpkins. I've clocked at least 2 nobles in this camp.
Ah, well. What good is your name or gold worth out here?
Mm.
You're all country folk when you're in the country.
True. It's just odd to see. I thought all of the Singornian elves had disappeared, so it's odd to see them here.
Tilt my head at that. What does she mean by Singorn elves disappeared? Was there a thing that happened in Singorn?
So Singorn is a city, but during times of war or conflict, the entire city disappears and moves to the Feywild as a
That's
protective measure.
crazy. Perhaps there are some who still have a stake in the living world. I mean, this place is overrun with undead. Who's to say the Feywild is next?
She nods a little bit. Yeah, well,
Well, it would seem that our paths are diverging here. You'll be heading to the Fred's camp, and we'll be heading to go deal with some hippie elves out in the woods. It should be fun.
well, just be careful. Everyone thinks that the wood elves are dumb, and they're not. Just
Not
because
dumb,
they
just
value...
different.
Yes, just because they value different things does not make them idiots.
Yes, hopefully we have something of worth to pass along to them for safe travel. At which point, Macklin sort of leans forward on his branch and prepares to gracefully hop down.
Okay. Acrobatics check.
Alright. Acrobatics. That's a 27.
Yep, you gracefully roll out of the tree. Like you've done this a million times before.
It's getting up is the hard part. Gravity helps for the second part.
Yeah.
He tumble rolls, dusts himself off, and adjusts his straps and buttons and buckles.
Yep, Saro just kind of stands on the branch, walks off the edge like it's a completely normal thing to do, lands on her feet, doesn't even look like she fell.
And from the friends camp, what next? Have you planned that far ahead?
Yes, my mother was able to get in contact with her. It'll be a week or 2, but after that, I'll be joining her on the ship, swinging into Whitestone. The ship will be on the way, and picking up Dust, and Dust and I will be going to Maquette for a little bit.
He tilts his head a little bit and nods slightly. Sticking with the plan, then. Probably for the better.
To the Oasis, yes. At least for a little bit.
Well, I suppose if you don't hear from me, you'll probably hear from me, actually. He doesn't even let that possibility seem appropriate. He just inclines his head and nods a little bit, showing his typical, somewhat a somewhat older type of bravado.
Mm-hmm. She kind of smiles at you. You know, if you need me, when this fight gets towards the end, just call. I don't care about Jacob. I'll just kill him or something, I suppose.
You and me both. No, no. When that time comes, I fully intend to pull all of my favors, yourself included. I think this is twice now? Yes, I think that makes us even. A little more than even, actually. Keep that in mind.
She nods. Macklin, I am always indebted to you. And she kind of ruffles your hair before calling you. She's like, besides, you'll always be Uncle Mac.
He just chuckles and wrinkles his nose at her. And gives her a little pat on the side before making his way back toward his allies who are currently camping and eating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, until we meet again. Farewell.
So, Cure, the younger girl that you clocked, she's not one of the young children. She's probably almost an adult. She's probably like 16 or 17. And she looks just so goddamn familiar. But you can't quite place her.
All right, as I tell the story, kind of recognizing the interest, I'll make a point to kind of like look over to her often when I'm making like some of the important points and emphasizing some of the action. Just to make sure that she's completely roped in.
And she is hanging off your every word.
But as breakfast is kind of winding down and people are getting up to do stuff, and I kind of start to wrap up the story, I'll definitely end on some of his highlights. Not necessarily giving them an end of the story, but giving them an end of like one adventure. Actually, I'd probably end with how he and his friends fought down the fiend in the realm of fire and saved some slaves from being sold to a fiend. Yeah, that's the story I'll end with.
Okay. You do get a couple of claps from your performance.
I incline my head gracefully towards him.
And people kind of start to kind of break off here and there. She stays a little bit longer.
Once enough people have gone and I've kind of cleaned up my plate and set it aside, I'll glance over to her and, ask innocently, I hope you like the story.
Yes, it's not often I get to hear about Vax'ildan and Vex'ahlia.
Kind of chuckle a little bit behind my mask. Not many people would recognize Vox Machina just from hearing their exploits like that, let alone identify the champion I spoke of.
She nods, but doesn't seem to offer any extra information. She does give you kind of a smile that just, it's aggravatingly familiar.
What race is she?
She is a full elf.
If you'll indulge my curiosity, where did you first learn of Vexalia and Vax'ildan?
My older sister told me most of their stories, as far as at least the ones she knew.
I nod a little bit. Unless I'm mistaken, I would hazard a guess that you're from Singorn?
I am. Or, well, I would have been.
Would have been?
We got trapped on this side of the shift.
Ah, I understand. So the city has moved into the
Retreated.
Feywild then.
Yes, and my father is doing what work he can to kind of keep track of the situation here. It's not quite the tasks that he is used to as a diplomat, but she kind of just shrugs.
Is he here in the camp?
He is.
I see. We actually plan to move through the forest and check on the status of the city on our way north.
Well, I'm sorry you'll just find a big crater where it would stand.
Well, it's better to learn that it simply moved rather than hazard a guess that it might have been destroyed, so there's that good news at least.
She nods a little bit. For what it's worth, I guess.
Can I try to pinpoint who she reminds me of
Yeah, sure.
as I'm like studying her through this conversation?
Roll me another insight check.
But 8.
Not quite pinning it. It's at the tip of your tongue, though.
It's rather strange. You seem to remind me of someone, though I can't quite place it.
It's, I guess, rude of me. I should have introduced myself. Vesper Visar.
Does the name mean anything to me?
Yes.
Did I hear it?
No, you did not hear it.
Okay.
Yes, you are very familiar with the name Visar. They didn't use it very often because it was their father's name and they were not fond of claiming anything in that direction. But that last name does ring a bell.
It takes a second as I just kind of nod, accepting, and then I straighten up a little bit and cock my head to the side. Visar? Really? As in the Visars?
She nods a little bit. As in the Visars. Legitimate and illegitimate. Though, don't tell my father, I think that the maybe illegitimate ones are a little bit more honorable.
Oh!
Kiora kind of chuckles at that. I've found that bravery and nobility has little to do with one's status in life and everything to do with one's deeds. And I think we can both agree that those two have certainly proven themselves to be, well, heroes worthy of song and story.
She nods. My father doesn't like to speak of them much, and my mother only met them once or twice, but my sister was very fond of them, and they of her.
I wish they had spoken more of their family, though. I can understand why they obviously did not, and they took pains not to mention much of their past around my brother and I.
It was a difficult situation for them. I find Singorn to be chafing, and I'm full elf.
Perhaps then it is not necessarily bad luck that you found yourself on this side of the divide, but merely an opportunity.
She gives you a wink that kind of makes your neck twitch a little bit. Don't let my father hear you say that too loud.
I chuckle a little bit. Oh, if he causes any problem, I believe I have a flock I can send after him.
Quite a little set of... I think it's called a murder, isn't it? Murder of crows?
It is indeed. Ironic that.
And she kind of
Although I
stands...
really don't see why children seem to enjoy my presence that much.
They're like cats. If you don't like them, they'll flock to you.
I'm sorry, but that's an awesome one.
Attempted murder. And she kind of just shrugs. Plus, you're terrifying looking, and children love terrifying things.
You're not wrong.
I rarely am.
That makes me laugh a little bit. I kind of glance around. And seeing... Is there anyone near us?
No, it seems like most of the children have wandered off to their various spots in camp. A couple are getting, lectured here and there.
Okay. Then, when I look back to her, I'll reach up to remove my mask. So I can kind of meet her on an even level and kind of incline my head respectfully towards her. Let me say that it is an honor and a privilege to make your acquaintance.
Yours as well. I feel like we're like siblings or cousins at least, I think. That makes me your aunt. If you were... I think that makes me your aunt.
Georges laughs a little bit. I find that I have quite a strange extended family. But I would not object to adding you to it.
Well, I travel with the Friends camp, but I don't think I'll be here much longer.
If you find yourself in need of a more direct way of affecting what is currently going on in the world, or if you and your family would like to work with individuals who are taking a more active interest in seeing things change, might I suggest making your way to Whitestone? You'll find friends there.
She nods a little bit. My father has been against the idea, but I think that maybe that I should at least make my way there.
Kiora nods as she puts her mask back on. As much as I respect the ideals of the Friends camp, I think last night shows that you cannot simply run from danger in the world today. It'll always find a way to find you.
And she nods a little bit. Yes, we've been seeing more and more of these rifts opening up.
Rifts, you say?
She nods a little bit. This is the closest anything has gotten that Théoden hasn't been able to take care of. My father will occasionally help him with such things. Me as well. But we're seeing an uptick in things that belong in the Shadowfell wandering about this plane. The walls are getting weak.
Then time grows short.
Not unlike the Ashari who guard the gates to the elemental plane. I feel like we're going to have a gate to the Shadowfell very shortly.
Then I believe it is time my companions and I got going. It appears we have a great deal of work left to do.
Well, for my beloved niece, how about a gift?
Kira kind of snirks at that. A gift? Why, Auntie, you treat me so well.
She does, a little bit of magic. You're not quite sure of the school of it. You can definitely make an Arcana check if you want, and, forms a bracelet.
Oh.
Just so I can keep an eye on you.
Oh.
Don't do it, she's
being
Vecna.
watched. Vecna.
She's totally Vecna. What color's her hair? Does she have a left eye?
He pulls out his great sword, casts radiant light on it, and just heads over and starts slashing her.
You just palm the child.
You can certainly try.
Can never be too careful around kids.
Cure will, take it gratefully.
It seems to be made of like a strong wood, like a purple heart. It's just a simple band around, with small flowers that kind of poke out in places.
I would be remiss if I did not have something to offer you as well. And I'll open my satchel and start digging through it.
Okay. Roll for pocket bacon.
I do kind of pull out a strip of pocket bacon down and put it back in. I'm going to and then I pull out a muffin, and I kind of look at it for a second and offer it to her. This is not the gift, but I have a few more left, in case you would like one.
We don't get many pastries out here, so sure. She takes it.
I've marked off another muffin. Then I'm going to pull out a coin. A coin that I received back in, shoot, what's the name of that continent?
And Corel?
Ankarel's the city, but yeah, back there.
Maquette.
Marquette. And I'm going to offer it to her. A coin for good luck. And should you find anyone in dire need of healing, I believe you'll find that the coin doubles as a focus as well.
Good to know.
And I'm giving her my alchemical coin of cure wounds.
She takes it. No.
Keep it close, just in case I need to find you.
Sounds fair to me.
I'll smile as I stand up, and I can't really put the bracelet on while I have my gauntlets on, but
No.
I give her a little salute from the Order of Talons.
She waves to you and watches you with a hard to read bemused smile. There seems to be something underneath it, but she's hard read.
Can I make an insight check to attempt to read?
Sure.
Oh, 13.
No.
That nat 20 is taunting me.
It is taunting you.
Doesn't he get advantage because it's his aunt?
I mean, like,
He
she's
did
known her for
just.
so long.
Yeah, I was about to say he did just meet her. No, unfortunately, there's something. It's maybe a hint of sadness around the edges, but everyone's a little sad these days, so.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
it's not like the world's being taken over by an evil source and
It's not like the
undead's
world is
walking.
ending or anything.
It's not like we didn't just fight some random fiend that's out in the middle of the forest or anything. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I'll be satisfied with that as I then go to check on my allies.
Okay. And as you go to check on your allies, you do see that she has gotten up and walked to a different tent. A little bit further off from the rest of the tents, and a little bit more fancy than the rest of the tents.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm so fancy.
Alright, and as you all kind of gather, Sam should be back any second. Theoretically.
Oh, there is gathering people. Here we go.
Felion takes out his greatsword, slits Isis' throat, watches him just bleed.
I don't trust magic users. They're all part of Vecna's plan.
Your smites Felion from behind.
And then the battle enrages.
I use all 90 of my movement speed.
To run away.
You know what?
A
Screw
lot.
this. I'm gonna deal with the dwarves.
Lot of radiant damage just going around there.
The two fight until a flock of children suddenly attack Felion.
You both resist radiant damage. Aren't children basically just minions? Once they take damage, they pop.
I mean, generally I'd be following swarm rules, so yeah, I suppose.
A murder of children. Confronts a murderer of children.
That's a bad situation too, because they stand probably right at Felion's fucking waist height, so it's great sword just swinging around. Ugh.
And several of them know basic drills.
And every time Felion swipes at them, Kiyora's sentinel kicks in and she swipes at him instead.
The fuck is...
That's exactly Macklin's response as he's watching this unfold.
Sorry, I saw something that I think only Mitch will understand, so I'm gonna link it to Mitch and talk about it later.
Hey Sam!
Samuel!
Was he taking mid-game poop or
Is
what?
he taking the poo now?
What the shit?
I don't know.
Oh wow, that's...
Wait, wanna go check on him on the toilet?
I finally have a reason to play League, Mitch. Those adorable puppies and kittens.
I think he took the dogs out, but it's been a while.
Incidentally, I did find... Oh wow. I did find out that, that Eldritch Blast that I shot off at the, monster,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't rolling dice damage. It just gave me my charisma modifier.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I found out and totally forgot I had a +2 greatsword and then add the extra 2. Really pisses me off. I would have killed that monster. Oh well.
You know what? Why don't we, while you all wait for
Take a
Ice.
5-minute break.
Ice to finish his song, why don't you all roll me perception checks?
Oh, okay. We're just going on through. I'm into it.
5.
Perception check.
I'm out of my
Crit.
element.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I've got a niece back home. I found my long lost adopted brother.
I know, we're finding your family fucking everywhere. What the fuck, dude?
Cure has a very odd extended family.
Cure keeps getting cloned. This isn't a legit large family, okay? She
Yep.
cheated.
I agree.
Macklin, Felion, do either of you speak Elvish?
Oh, shit.
Unfortunately, I speak Sylvan, I don't speak Elvish.
Okay.
It's on my sheet somewhere.
I'm sorry, guys. I bought into her act.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I speak the language that Elvish was derived from. That's about it.
Okay, well, you do hear a teenage girl fighting with her parents over in a tent in a corner.
Oh, nice. Good girl.
Yeah, just adolescence.
Someone's upset at the friends camp.
I'd give her that cane if I were you.
What's that old saying? Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Never heard that saying.
It's rather archaic and brutal, but old people like to say it.
When my brother and I argued that our parents sold us into slavery.
I think they were going to do that to you anyway, Cure. You have a very sellable face. That's a compliment.
I turned the imperious gaze of a Talon of the Raven Queen upon him.
Given the extended circumstances of being sold into slavery, I would say that that probably wasn't appropriate for a comment.
No.
Is
Okay, I
Felion
don't-
going hashtag too soon?
It's only been a million years.
We're waiting on you, Sam.
Wait, what?
Terribly sorry. Most of my coping mechanisms for disgusting things involve humor. I do apologize.
Most of my coping mechanisms involve hurting things.
You see, we both have unhealthy coping mechanisms.
Who said mine was unhealthy?
General consensus of civilized folk.
Seamus, roll me a perception check, please.
Natural one.
No, 24. And my
Hey.
passive is 18, so shove it.
What languages do you speak?
Hey, we have the exact same passive.
Common, Sylvan, Celestial.
Okay. Good to know. You hear a teenage girl fight with her parents in Elvish.
I mean, I could use that potion, but it seems like a bad time.
Well, yeah, so I'm hearing it sounds juicy.
Yeah, it sounds like a teenage girl fighting with her parents.
Comprehend languages.
Cool.
Alright.
Ice, what are you doing? You suddenly look distracted.
Magic.
What's that visual somatic? What is it? Verbal, not visual.
And when Macklin says magic, he does this thing with his hands where he spreads them out,
Jazz
fingers
hands.
doing jazz hands, and literal sparkles start to appear.
When the bard
Yes.
blows spells.
Thematic and material.
So, you look up as Seamus finishes playing, kind of puts his, plays a chord on his
Cittern.
cittern, sorry. A familiar one you guys have heard before, and says a soft word, and turns his head towards the, argument that's happening.
Thelian at that point looks over at Ice and says, "No, Ice, I wouldn't suggest...
Holds a finger up in front of his face. Like,
What
lifts
are
his
you
left
doing?
hand up.
Still continues
One finger up.
ignoring
danger
the
nearby?
gesture and says, but I wouldn't
Puts his
suggest...
fingers to his lips. Shh, 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 shh.
Just
Is
keep
this what we're doing
going.
now?
I
This
would
is-
do you
this is
hear
our
it?
lives.
ending your song in that
Should I be alarmed?
manner.
These are two separate heroes.
I
They're
would
both dying.
suggest
Cure.
maybe
They're
a
dying.
different
These heroes.
chord.
Right in front of us. We can do nothing to help them. No amount of cure, wounds, or persuasion.
All three of them start babbling around him.
Exactly. So can he roll that at disadvantage?
Sure, roll me a perception check at disadvantage because your asshole friends are.
Hey, I was talking to Cure.
It doesn't matter. It's just happening.
Cure is honestly confused and is wondering if she should draw her sword or not.
Did she bring Mouth there?
Because, she's seen him do this a lot of times when there's danger around, and not so often when, nothing is happening, so she's a little alarmed.
It's teenage drama danger.
What?
Re-roll
Teenage
it on the
drama?
table.
Ooh,
Can't
DM
have
rating.
cock die.
DM's being strict in this circumstance. You can't take that natural 20 that rolled on the floor.
We're just ruining Sam's day.
Uh-huh.
We're the worst.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, Sam.
I'm
I'll
up.
make it up to you next Wednesday.
He can't hear you because he's not wearing his headphones.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
summon a bitch.
He's mad at us.
Is he
18.
Well, if he
Go
can't
fuck
hear you,
yourself.
it doesn't count.
It's such a high DC, you had to get
I
at least
knew
a
you
20.
could do it, Sam. I knew you could do it.
Oh, actually, the DC was 18, so you do
Damn.
manage to make out most of the conversation. Lots of "you can't make me's," "I'm an adult," "I will do what I want."
She's 12. She's not an adult yet.
Couple, young ladies know you stay here. No, you're not going to run off like your foolhardy siblings. Couple responses of at least they're doing something, or at least they were doing something. I'm just going back and forth. It's getting really heated and really personal.
I walk over.
Ice, where are you
Ice,
going? Is there
Ice,
danger
let's
that way?
see.
I get
Finger,
up and follow him.
fingers up again.
Ice, please. There are dwarves dying.
I mean,
Probably.
the world is literally coming to the end of days, and
On
you're-
fire.
okay, yeah, he's.
Shadowy fire.
So I think we should go ahead and just head out, and maybe he will follow.
Kior, you do see Ice, put up his finger and head towards the Vasar's tent.
Ice, what are you doing?
Shh, it's getting interesting.
I hold him by the
Actually,
shoulder.
hold on.
As
I
soon
don't
as
say
it
that
says,
loud. I point back at him and cast message, and I just say, "Shh, it's getting interesting," and I kneel down, about 5 feet from the tent.
I don't let him get that far. As soon as he says it's getting interesting, I put my hand on his shoulder. Stop eavesdropping.
No. I'm curious.
No.
Bagman's gonna follow after the two of them and sort of. What exactly is happening?
Their discussion has nothing to do with you or our quest. Respect their privacy.
I look up at Cure with the weird, like, who are you to talk kind of look, and then I say, they are speaking not in hushed tones, but in elevated voices. If they did not want a scene, if they didn't want anyone to hear or pay attention, they would be talking in hushed tones. This is not hushed tones. Hush yourself.
You are a person of independent free will. You can choose to respect their privacy because they are talking in a tent rather than out in the middle of the field. Do you really want to be so couth as to eavesdrop at the door of people who have taken us in, welcomed us with food and song? This is how you wish to repay their hospitality?
I point over at the Vardo that of Thaden, and I say, that is the person who took us in. Everyone else is along for the ride with him because he is helping everyone out.
I sigh and shake my head and let go of him and turn away.
Okay. The voices go quiet.
Good job, Kier. Good job. Actual compliment. Silence them.
I look back, and for
You see an older, middle-aged, elvish man kind of storm out of the tent angrily and walk off.
Old elven guy,
Middle-aged.
middle-aged. With my background of nobility, can I identify this guy?
Yes, Singor nobility. You're familiar with the Vassars. Lord Vassar is a well-traveled diplomat. A footnote on his family tree is that he had 2 illegitimate children, a set of twins, who went on to do great things.
His last name is Vassar.
Vassar.
Stars and Stones, is that Lord Vassar? What is he doing here?
I believe it's time we should get going.
I should cure. What is he doing here?
I look over at Cure. Oh, that's
walk
what it
away.
was. I shake my head at Cure, very pointedly at Cure, and as I walk back towards her, I say out loud, in a very not hiding it manner, well, I mean, that definitely explains why she was saying that at least they were doing something. And then as I walk up to Cure, I shake my head, and you know, when it comes to everyone else, and you wanting to know something, it's okay for you to know, but the second that someone else wants to know or pay attention to something, it's not good. You know, we're racking up transgressions here. I'm only going to take it for so long, but this is getting ridiculous. If you don't like my ideas and you're just going to do what you're going to do, fine. But you're going to have to let me do what I'm going to do if I have to let you do what you're always going to do. And then I walk up to beside Macklin and I say, okay, let's get going.
Macklin scratches his head slightly. What is it exactly that you plan to do? Huh. And Macklin's eyes are caught by something, and he looks toward the what is it called? It's not a tent.
Pavilion.
Billion?
Pavilion.
The pavilion. He glances over, noticing something over there. I'm sorry, what you're saying? And he sort of shifts on his tiptoes and leans to the side to look past Seamus.
I
Cure
move
didn't
out
say
of the
anything during that exchange either. She just kind of sighed and shook her head.
What direction is it moving?
Oh my lord.
Whispers.
I can't
Saki.
do.
So many whispers.
Yeah,
Oh, there's
I'm
whispers
trying
happening.
to whisper.
I'm
But
sorry.
I can't. Oh, I can't fucking do commands right, dude.
It's /W. Space, and then usually...
THE.
Alright, seeing that Cure and Seamus are arguing for whatever reason, there's probably some...
Cure did not say anything.
Oh, okay. All right. So in that case, with the back of my hand, I rap tap tap the ice on his armor, about the abdomen, and hitch my head to the side and gesture with my hand over my shoulder at something.
Mac, when you dropped it, I just heard at
I'm
something.
sorry. Yeah, I got pulled out. I gesture toward the west, pointing something out.
I look towards the west. Do I have to roll investigation or perception? What?
Perception.
$23.
I don't see anything.
I don't see anything.
Mm-mm.
I look at Macklin and shrug.
I look back. Did
Roll me a perception.
okay. Rolling 26.
Yeah, you still see it. It's hard to see, but heading into the woods.
Right.
What's heading into the woods?
You don't see it.
I'm standing right beside Macklin and
Okay.
Nice.
As people's attention starts turning towards the woods, roll me a perception check.
Sorry, I think I saw someone break off from the herd. And Macklin starts to move in that direction.
yeah, I don't see anything.
Nah. None of your business.
Seamus follows Macklin.
Macklin?
As Macklin finally realizes this Fellion's already in that direction.
Of course. Day late, dollar short. Felion likes to move fast. Alright, following after Felion.
He doesn't fuck around, dude.
Well, Felion
He
didn't
doesn't-
actually move. He's still by the campfire. How do we know he's moved?
I don't know what direction she's in.
West. It's to your left.
There, thank you. See, Heather got me. What are you talking about? Stop it.
Quick. Would it be a perception check or an insight check to see if someone's geared up enough to go off on their own?
Either one. Whichever you'd like.
My perception's a lot better. 15.
She does seem to be carrying bags, weapons, a shield.
Bags, weapons, and a shield, but moving alone.
Uh-huh. And she's young. Like, really young.
Yeah.
What is going on?
And Fellion goes, excuse me, miss? Miss?
Okay. You catch up to her. She ignores you and keeps moving.
I speak louder. Miss, I have a question for you. Just curious about something.
And she turns around. Are all of you following Felion?
I mean, I'm
I'm
a little...
following Macklin. No one's like telling me what's going on.
I'm a
so
short
I'm just
distance away,
trailing
and I will
around with them.
explain to Cure that someone has broken off from the herd who probably shouldn't have broken off from the herd. So I would be a short distance away from Thelion. Ice probably getting closer because he's more vested in what's going on.
And Fellion just kind of, I couldn't happen to see that you're grabbing your gear and leaving this encampment.
Yes.
May I ask why?
Because I'm leaving. And she just looks at all of you. Like, that's the most obvious answer.
Who is this person?
Oh, it's Vesper.
I kind of blink behind my mask as I finally find out what the heck is going on and what people saw.
Everyone's, as you catch up to her, you know, she's made good tracks. She is wearing full studded leather armor. She has a short sword and a beautiful shield. strapped to her back, and a couple of bags. One looks small and empty, but
May I ask where you're heading to?
Oh, well, you didn't take very long at all to make your decision, did you?
well,
Decision.
it was time
I would
for
say-
my father and I to cut ways, I think. He's much nicer when you don't live with him.
From what I hear, I can imagine so. Although there is something to be said for staying with what family you have left.
She kind of just
Sure.
shrugs her shoulders.
Cure kind of rubs her chin. Well, you are free to make your own decision, although traveling the roads at this time is not exactly safe.
Declan cocks a brow a little bit. Where exactly do you plan to go?
Whitestone?
As I recall, Lorne Village is northeast, northwest.
She kind of like, she looks to you. No, I was thinking of heading to Kymel first. It's a good bit closer.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is she going in the wrong direction?
She's going in the correct direction for Kymel, the wrong direction for Whitestone.
Ah, okay.
Do I recognize her voice as the voice that was fighting with
Yes.
Mr. Visar?
Yeah.
I look at her, and then I say out loud, so, you want to go to Kymel first, then head to Whitestone?
Well, Kymel's much closer, and they have teleportation circles.
Have you ever been to Whitestone?
No, but I hear it's lovely this time of year when there's no vampires.
It's true.
Cure
I-
a little bit.
I quickly cast Detect Magic, and then I look her over to see if she's actually wearing anything magical or if she's just outfitted in plain armor and stuff.
It is not plain. Nope. She has a bag of holding. She has a +2 sword, and her armor is +1 studded leather.
It's got better gear than we do.
No shit.
I tilt my head a bit.
Shit.
Oh, her
And-
shield also has a spell built into it that can be activated. Some sort of evocation spell.
I look at all that, and I'm like, huh. And my eyes are obviously shining blue. And then I let the elvish appearance vanish off my body to reveal the changeling form. And I tilt my head a bit, and I'm like, huh, well, it's a little less magic. Well, you're definitely outfitted well, but how much were you taught by your half siblings?
I never got a chance to meet them.
Cure is shaking her head from behind the group.
Okay, you want to go to Whitestone?
Yes, that is my intent.
We have easier means for you to get there than travel through these lands alone.
Quicker,
So
too.
I feel as though I'm sure you can handle yourself, but as we ourselves just encountered a fiend of great power, I would prefer you not to travel on your
Well, it would be dumb to turn down an offer if you've got a way to get me there faster, I suppose.
I look around. I look back at the camp, and I look back at her. It'll take me 10 minutes, but I can make something, and it's the least I can do for what your siblings did for me. I'll see if anyone else is planning on heading that way. Get as many people through as possible, and I start to turn to walk back towards camp.
Lets out a frustrated sound. I'm staying here.
I stop. I turn back around. Okay, I don't care if you have a beef with your father. I have a beef with your father too. But if you want to go to Whitestone, but then I mention other people going to Whitestone and you start freaking out, this is just not productive in any way, shape, or form. You can force this if you need us to. I'd much rather make this nice, pleasant for all parties, give people some hope, ease Thaden's need to guard as many people. But I mean, if you want to make this difficult,
We're not going to force any issues. Let them make the choice.
I shake my head at Cure, and I step to the side a bit. So, what is it? Do you actually want to go to Whitestone, or are you just trying to go somewhere that your father isn't?
Well, most of the good parts of Whitestone are that my father is not there. And refuses to step foot near it, so...
Well, then you don't have to worry about the offer for everyone that wants to go to Whitestone can jump in a teleportation circle with
I
you.
don't think that's her problem, Jameis. Her problem is she's going to stay right here in the woods while you gather the people you want, and then when you're ready, she will come out.
She gives finger guns to Felian.
Finger guns to Valiant.
Okay, that is not what you had implied. I said I was going to go see if there was anyone that wanted to go.
And
I did not
said-
say you had to follow.
And I said, I'll be right here.
You said I'm not moving, but okay.
I think that means the same thing.
So, I move towards the center of the camp and I cry out to all involved. One-way trip to Whitestone. How many people want to get there today?
A couple people kind of look up and give you curious looks. A few kind of discuss amongst themselves. And you do get a young family with an infant and probably a toddler move forward.
I look at the young family and then I look beyond at everyone else. Any other takers?
Most of them seem to be shaking their head no.
Okay. And
While he's rounding everyone up, I'm going to look over at Vesper and kind of walk over to her to murmur a little privately.
Mhm.
When you get to Whitestone, ask around for Ilia Taldore. When you find her, tell her that you spoke with me and tell her what I suggested. I'm sure she'll help you get situated.
Taldore? And she kind of looks you over.
As I said, I have a very strange extended family.
Seems like it. Friends in high places, I suppose, or guess they were in high places. I'll seek her out.
Point that playing Jazen so I can make a comment on that.
so I walk back to the group with the young family, and then I take 100 gold out of my purse, my coin purse, and I give 50 gold to the young family. I give 50 gold to Vesper, and then I look between them. There are a lot of refugees having some money is going to help you in the long run. And then, before I kneel down, I look at Vesper one more time. Well, if you have any skill at fighting or want to be a guard, I'm certain that outfitted the way you are, you'll do somewhat just fine. And then I bring out my Jewel Encrusted chalks and my inks, and I start drawing up the circle for Gilmore's Glorious books.
All right. Takes you a few minutes, but you draw out the circle. And it lights up. And the 5 of them step through. Closes up behind them.
Okay,
I
let's hurry up
waved
and
to her as she left.
She waves back.
During this time, I would have found a nice log to sit on, observing and waiting.
Yeah, you did. It was not difficult.
Well, I think we've overstayed our welcome at this point, and I think it's time for us to move on.
Anybody see where Old Man Vessar went?
Somewhere over there.
He walked off in this direction.
Elves
Sure.
and elf.
Kyor's gonna sit down on the log near Macklin and say, I will need a few minutes. And then start chanting quietly under her breath with her hands folded before her.
Well, all right. I'll never begrudge a person's right to worship when and where they choose, but I'll let you do your thing.
Okay. What you doing?
It's gonna be about 10 minutes, so if anyone wants to do anything within that time.
Macklin just preps. Sharpens his weapon, checks his straps.
And does the same thing, starts going through his gear, just inventory check.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, well, 5 days will die, so I 4 days.
Ice just eats some of the jerky got from the farmhouse and moves to the other side of Macklin, so he's completely different side from Kyor, and just stays silent.
What a strange morning.
He
I
dips
would
into his
say
own
so.
rations and
Please tell me Macklin says that towards the end of the 10 minutes.
sure.
In that case, as he says that, from the trees behind them, dozens and dozens of dark shapes come hurtling down towards the ground in front of Kyor and start whirling about like a murder of ravens that keeps growing and growing and darkening into a large shape. And there's kind of a fluff of black and violet light that explodes outwards, and a rearing horse stands before her and settles down and blinks violet eyes as it looks around. And she stands up. All right, I'm ready now.
He lifts his hands and rolls his eyes to the heavens.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. That's it. There's a horse. A horse made of birds. Wonderful.
Kyor hefts herself onto its back.
Okay.
Thalion shakes his head and starts walking in the direction they need to go.
Macklin's following Falion now.
Likewise.
I nudge
I
my
just don't get
heels
it.
into the horse's flanks. Onward, Poe.
Poe. Because it's made of ravens. I get it. I get it. I get the joke. I got the joke.
I can't deal with this.
How do you know you game with a bunch of English majors? Well, one of them named Monkey
Ah.
Horatio, and one of them named Horse Poe.
That's made out of ravens.
Mhm.
That's made out of fucking ravens. I just can't deal with this.
I think I'm done with magic. I think I'm just done with magic.
I think honestly, I should name him Edgar. I think Edgar's a more appropriate name.
No, you're
Hell,
sticking with Poe.
fucking
It's Poe now.
Fellion has a heart attack and dies on the spot. He's done.
Cool. You've got a horse.
And as you guys
I'm on a horse.
resume your trip,
You stay on the horse. I'll hoof it.
I
And
mean, it's a war horse.
bad
It could probably carry
puns.
several of you.
puns. They have fucking puns
There's
now.
4
too.
of us. 2 of them are wearing plate mail.
You're wearing plate mail? I'm not wearing plate mail.
Oh, I assume because you're
Half
fighter.
plate, and its mithril armor doesn't have the same weight.
I'm wearing studded leather.
Hey, studded leather bros.
As you continue
But
your
I'm
way
wearing-
towards the Taurian forest.
Really magical studded. Gift from Jocelyn. To be exact. And yes.
And that's what we're gonna call it for tonight.
All right. It's a very strange morning.
So weird. It's just like, here's the mine, and boom. Got blown.
That was an interesting morning.
It was that is the weirdest morning. You have nightmares.
Drama, teen
Yo.
angst.
Go fight a giant freaking demon. Come back to friggin' exactly teen drama,
A pout
And then-
off in the woods.
and then all of a sudden a horse of ravens. It's just why? Why did this happen?
Silky black mane and tail. Very powerful. Bigger than Cure.
I would think that the horse is bigger than Cure. It's a horse.
Fucking horse.
It says summon steed, not summon pony. Of course it's bigger than Cure.
Crap, what's the name of that horse breed? The really big ones.
Actually,
Clydesdale?
Clydesdale.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
just to let you know, you can summon a pony with summon steed.
Summon a what?
A pony.
Oh, yeah.
For like people like you. Exactly.
I could summon an elk.
Summon a fucking elk. You
Could summon a mastiff for Macklin.
There you go.
I could ride a horse. I could undo my hair and have my curly blonde locks flow.
No, if we need to get you going anywhere, I'm going to summon a mastiff for you to ride.
Cool. I appreciate that. What's the speed of a mastiff? 40? Cool. I'll be keeping up with the horses. One exhaustion point at a time.
Alrighty, folks. I will talk to y'all later.
Later.
Talk to you later.
And swell, guys. Take care.
Have a good night.